Welcome to TMZ Live. There is a new surveillance video that we obtained with the Mark Sanchez fight that ended up getting him arrested after he got stabbed.
Now facing a felony that could result in 6 years in prison if he's convicted.
So this video was taken around the area where this fight occurred between Sanchez and this truck driver. And we have video both before and after the attack.
Right. We see the whole thing play out. You get a full timeline of what happened late Friday night, early Saturday morning in downtown Indianapolis.
I will say, before you walk us through the video, it is really obvious Mark Sanchez is wasted.
Yeah, I mean, you see him stumbling at times during this 20-plus minutes of video. So here are the highlights. Not to borrow from an NFL term, but the former quarterback was in downtown Indianapolis, and the video starts with at about 12:05 a.m. This is that truck pulling up there is driven by Perry Toll, the alleged victim in the assault with Mark Sanchez. He drives down this alley and eventually, coming toward the camera here, parks in a loading dock where he is going to deliver his wares to
the oil,
one of the hotels. So then you see Mark Sanchez at 12:13 a.m. now walking in the opposite direction. He's walking away from that loading dock. We don't know if he actually had any interaction with Perry Toll at that point, but he doesn't seem agitated, right? He's just walking very calmly, very casually, and kind of seems like, I don't want to say he's lost, but
he's walking aimlessly.
Doesn't seem to have any point in where he's going, and eventually comes around the corner and walks past a pub. The pub that he walks past is the one that he 20 minutes later will stumble into with stab wounds.
You saw him unsteady there.
Well, he's unsteady, but he's walking by, and then he comes back in the other direction. And then he goes off on some odyssey. I don't know where he's going, but he is walking in the opposite direction. He gets to the alley, does not go down the alley. This isn't where the fight happens. He keeps wandering down the road, and we don't know where he goes. He's off camera at that point, and it's about 5 minutes later when he comes back toward the pub and the alleyway.
Now watch this.
This is where something really strange happens. So you see Mark walking up there. When he gets to the alley, he's going to lean up against the wall. This is the wall of the pub, actually. And he leans up against this wall and just stands there.
For 2 minutes?
For 2 minutes. I don't know if he's passed out, if he's asleep, but this stranger walks by and sees Mark and thinks there's something weird, so he's talking to him.
It looks like
it almost looks like they're yelling
agitated.
At each other.
Yeah.
And then right after that, Mark turns and runs down the alley, and this is, according to police, when the fight happened. It was sometime between 12:25 a.m. and 12:30.
Now watch this.
Now the fight happens. Now when he's coming back, he's been
running.
Stabbed.
So
but
he's
running.
stabbed, and he is sprinting.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, that's
bizarre.
adrenaline, I guess. But when he finally gets to the corner, now he stops running, and he realizes, maybe he didn't even realize that he was stabbed at that
possibly.
point. But he puts his hand on the shirt.
And now he sees the bloody shirt.
And he can see he's bleeding, and he pulls out the shirt. And what we're told is that after this point, right, Mike, he goes into the pub, right?
Pub, yep,
looking
it's a bar.
for...
Right, for help.
For help.
It's so shocking to see him actually even be able to run because those injuries were really severe.
Right.
He's rushed to the hospital in critical condition. I mean, these are potentially life-threatening injuries, and he's still, by the way, in the hospital right now, and this is almost a week later.
Yeah, so...
I mean, he was hurt very badly.
So he goes in now, so that's 12:30 when he walks out bloodied, goes into the pub. 7 minutes later, police just start flooding the whole area. They go to the pub, they pull up police tape, and they go down the alley where they find Perry Toll, who's also severely injured. And they wheel him out on a gurney. He goes to the hospital as well. We have not seen the fight yet, but I gotta tell you,
what's relevant, he is clearly out of it. I mean,
Yes.
I think that is the takeaway, that he is out of his head. And so much so that it seems like he falls asleep on that wall.
Right.
I think so,
Why
too.
else is he standing at 12:20 something in the morning?
For 2 minutes.
And it
just
may well be,
minutes standing
and it may
still.
well be that the guy who was walking by woke him up
I think
and
so.
said, "What are you doing?" And then he's startled.
Said, "What are you
because
doing? Are
they-
you okay?"
They
or something?
seem to be going back
Right.
and forth. But it seemed like he had just fallen
I
asleep on
think so
that wall.
too. It's the most bizarre thing that I've seen. I have no idea
What
why.
was going on in
Right.
Mark's world that night?
Right.
We know that he'd been out prior to this, had been out with some
Yeah, it
friends,
was at
went to
a
dinner.
famous steakhouse in Indianapolis. It's so bizarre.
And as we said, Mark Sanchez is still in the hospital. Perry Toll is out of the hospital, but has filed a lawsuit against Mark Sanchez and Fox.
And Mark Sanchez now has a felony that he's going to be charged with, as well as 3 misdemeanors. They could add to those charges as well.
Right.
But he is in big trouble.
Gabriel in Maryland. I don't know what was on Mark Sanchez's mind, and he probably didn't either, but you got to know when it's time to go home. You got to know when it's time to hold him, when it's time to fold him, when it's time to go back to your hotel. I'm glad nobody lost their life, but Mark Sanchez, you got to know when it's time to go home.
Yeah, I mean, nobody lost their life, but they came close.
They came close.
Billie Eilish has kicked off her tour, started in Miami, but just a couple of minutes into the tour.
Not even. She wasn't on stage. This was a rough
So
start.
she started the tour by walking through the crowd. She wanted to actually engage with the fans. That's a great idea, right? Except that there's at least one fan that decided to get way too handsy. And this had to be a scary moment for Billie.
In the law, we call it assault and battery.
I think you would be right, counselor. Watch what happened. So far, it's fine. It's all great. Yep. Watch.
Just
Well, you
shoved
see how
her.
the security guard got on that guy immediately?
But not
was like a choke slam.
Not before this guy just yanks her in. I mean, violently.
It is such a violent yank. And we reached out to the Miami PD. The guy was ejected from the arena,
But not arrested.
Was he arrested?
No, not arrested. And it was such a violent thing. You see her arm get twisted and fly back into the barricade. And I'm like, is she going now to continue to do this at her concerts?
My guess is she will, but security
is it
will
worth
be.
it? 'Cause she's
but
already had her
security
ring
will be
stolen.
much closer. What?
But she had
no,
a
no,
ring.
ring
She
stolen.
had a
Yeah.
ring stolen at another concert previously. Why she was doing this? So now is it even worth it? She's got property stolen. She's been assaulted by it. So why start your concert out like this? It's just so
because
rude.
because 99.7% of the fans are totally cool.
They are
and they're
totally
not gonna
cool, but
do
it
anything.
takes
But you got to
one
worry
incident.
about the one.
Yes.
And I don't want to be silly about this, and I'm not trying to be, but if she's superstitious, just think about this is seconds into the beginning of my American tour, and
Yes.
this happens.
Yeah.
Do you think the tour is jinxed now?
No,
but it's
I'm
just
not
got
saying
off
it
to a
is.
good
But a lot of
start.
people are superstitious.
By the way,
Yes.
the concert went on after this.
It did. Well, the
And
guy
everyone
got
had a great time?
The person got ejected. We don't know if it's a guy or a woman, but yeah, they got removed
It
from
was a guy, by the way, just so you know, if you're thinking security just let him go after
No,
that.
they did not.
There was a whole other set of security behind this crowd here that came and got that guy and
Yes.
dragged him out.
Hey guys, Yessie Smiles here from Miami, and I agree with you. This is crazy. These people should know how to act. This is so uncivil, and it's the same thing when they throw items at artists on stage. They need to suffer consequences. I'm sorry, but this is just horrible. And yeah, she could have gotten hurt.
I'm really surprised that this person wasn't arrested.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause
it's assault and battery. It is literally assault.
Why do you think they
I don't
weren't?
know. I don't know.
Because maybe they didn't. I mean, we're looking at it on video now.
Yeah.
In the moment, maybe it didn't seem like that much. I don't know. When you see it on video,
By the way,
clearly this person
if they
should've been
identify
charged.
who it is, they could still
could go
arrest
back
him.
and
They could
get him.
absolutely still arrest him.
They should.
Coming up.
I'm starting to think it's a prerequisite for being on Real Housewives.
Getting arrested?
That someone on the cast has to be arrested. The latest is Real Housewives of Potomac. Dr. Wendy Acefo and her husband Eddie, they have been booked for fraud.
If it's true, one of the dumbest crimes committed in 2025.
Be right back.
I'm starting to think it's a prerequisite for being on Real Housewives.
Getting arrested?
That someone on the cast has to be arrested. The latest is Real Housewives of Potomac. And the two people who've been
Did
arrested.
the National Guard arrest her?
They're in the area, but they were not involved in this one. Dr. Wendy Acefo and her husband Eddie, they have been booked for fraud.
By the way,
And a very strange.
No, if it's true, one of the dumbest crimes committed in 2025.
I would have to agree with that. And this all started, I think we broke the story last year when they went on a vacation to Jamaica and they came back and said, someone broke into our house and stole a bunch of stuff.
Stole rings, stole clothes, stole all sorts of things.
Well, they reported that to the police, of course.
And now they're saying not so.
Yeah.
Your stuff didn't get stolen. You lied and you tried to defraud the insurance company, which you did, and now we're going to arrest you.
Right. So what the cops say, they noticed that some of the items, so the cops have a list of all the things that they reported stolen. But then, I don't know if someone pointed this out to the cops or they just happened to be perusing Dr. Acefo's social media, but they noticed her wearing some of the items, some of the jewelry that she had said was stolen.
I believe
Was it a
on
ring?
the Jamaica trip.
On the trip.
So,
yes.
so they're in Jamaica when supposedly the theft happens, the burglary happens,
and they're reporting stuff stolen
that she's wearing on social media.
Which is, I literally cannot wrap my head around this because of all the housewives to get caught for this, not Dr. Wendy Acefo. Like there's just no way
But wait, there's more.
wait,
There's
what?
more. There's more. She's allegedly. My understanding is that some of the clothes she bought she
were
returned to the store.
Yep,
Right?
and they
she got
found
her
the
money
receipts.
back,
So
and they
found
said
the
they were
receipts,
stolen.
yeah.
You told the police that this stuff was stolen, but then you went back to the store and returned it, got that money on top of allegedly trying to get insurance money.
I don't know what's worse, taking the clothes back and getting the receipts for that, or posting on social media with the
they're
items
both.
you
Brendan,
you
do we know
stole.
it's a tie?
Did
It
they
doesn't make
actually
sense.
get any insurance money? Do we know if they actually?
That we don't know yet. No.
They probably did. If it was a
Didn't.
year
Sure, they
ago.
It's given
submitted
that they
for it.
did
If it was a
the.
year ago.
Yeah, it's giving
But-
that they did an investigation
get
and
it back
found
now,
this
right?
stuff.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's the way it always starts. Is the insurance company does an investigation, they find out something, and by the way,
Maybe it's the insurance company who called the police.
oh, I'm
Oh, for
sure it
sure,
was.
Right. for
no,
sure.
They have a fraud unit.
Right.
These insurance companies have fraud units, and they do stuff like this. And the first thing, I would think they look at social media. Right?
1000%.
Because
Oh, the insurance company definitely.
even if they weren't
Easily.
dumb enough to wear it at the time they reported stolen, maybe 3 months later you see an item and all of a sudden
1000%.
you say, "Hey, what's up?" What I'm trying to figure out is how did they track the stores? Maybe they submitted it and said, "We bought so and so from the store, it's gone."
And you got to realize the stuff that she was saying that was stolen was not just like jeans and t-shirts. She was saying like Birkin bags. So
Right.
you're going to easily be able to find out where she bought a Birkin bag.
Can I just ask you, what's in the water? Because this is now, so Real Housewives of Potomac, there's a fraud at Real Housewives Salt Lake City.
DUI in Beverly Hills.
Real Housewives New Jersey, of course,
Teresa
the Judices.
Giudice.
In Beverly Hills.
No, Karen.
At the Beverly Hills
Well,
Hotel.
Beverly Hills
You know,
is
it's funny is
DUI,
people keep
right?
texting me and they're like, "So has she been fired yet?" Bravo is loving this. Are you
Oh my
fired?
God,
Well,
Bravo.
no.
Bravo is loving
No,
this.
but
Andy Cohen is
I don't know
loving it.
because Andy just came out and said that he doesn't want to see Jen Shaw ever again, and she's getting out of jail
Salt Lake
next
City.
season. In Salt Lake City, she's in jail for fraud as well.
As a
She's getting
TV
out next
producer,
year.
This is like the best thing for the show.
Of course.
Well, they've already started
And
filming.
also,
It might be great for the show. It's not good for them personally.
It's clear they're having money problems. Why else would they be doing this?
Well, agreed.
Oh my God. So a part of me is shocked to see that Wendy is like being charged for fraud. But as a longtime Housewives watcher, this show is no stranger to criminals, scammers, and fraudsters. She's just next in line in a long line of housewife scammers. The Bravo to prison pipeline is very real, and
Well,
looks like Wendy and Eddie got
Bravo
caught
to
up in it.
prison.
I don't think
pipeline.
Bravo is going to use that as a
That's
tagline.
hysterical. That's hysterical.
Losing is becoming a big thing for Drake.
He embraces it.
I mean, there was the obvious loss in the Kendrick battle. And then he decided he was going to file this lawsuit against his label and Kendrick's label also, Universal Music Group, saying that they had propped up Kendrick's song,
Well, and
Not
also,
Like Us.
but the real thing they said was
The defamation.
that UMG defamed him by calling Drake a certified pedophile.
By promoting Kendrick's song in which he calls Drake a certified
publishing it.
pedophile.
And when you republish a defamatory fact, you're responsible for it.
Well, and guess what?
And interestingly, he never sued Kendrick.
No, never sued Kendrick, just the label.
So the
And he
judge
just took an L.
said, this is ridiculous. The judge said, not only said it's ridiculous, but used Drake's own lyrics to dismiss this case. Said the whole thing was hyperbole, that people don't listen to music and
think
say
that
that
it's
they're
fact.
news reports.
Right.
They know what a rap battle is. And the judge in this case got deep into rap and started citing lyrics from Drake as well as Kendrick, how they went back and forth. You know,
Because remember, Not Like Us was that weekend, that like 3-day period where they were going back and forth with different diss tracks.
And
But
the judge
said, look,
cited him and said, I get the game. And the game isn't that people believe it really, they know what it is.
they understand that there's a beef going on, that there's a rap battle.
So the case has been, this was so
Tossed,
obvious.
dismissed.
Obvious that it was going to be
basically Drake not only lost the case, but probably lost a lot of money on lawyers. But the lawyers win.
And now the question, does it stain his reputation for doing this?
A little bit, yeah. Also, the other thing is, I think that judge has a deal with UMG now, because she was dropping some bars there. But yeah, Drake is taking a hit, and this is going to be the biggest thing for him. Like he does need like a really hot album, a good hot song to put him back. But the problem is, if you read what UMG said about this after it was dismissed, they said it's good it was dismissed. It never should have been brought up. We look forward to working on Drake's career with him. Do they? Because they've got that catalog. They have money they will make forever from that.
Well,
what
his
you
deal
bite
is
the
gonna
hand
be
that
up.
feeds you, they're not going to keep feeding you.
But if,
Well,
but
that's
if the
the
deal is
question.
going to be up, right?
Right.
So are they saying we look forward to it just for show, or are they saying it because they want to make sure that they're patching things up with Drake?
I mean, we'll see when the album comes out.
Because
but-
as much as Drake has been taking losses, he's still a huge artist as far as Universal is concerned. He brings in money.
But this is the thing. So Drake, it's not like his career's over. Kendrick didn't end him that way. But the thing is he going to be a legacy artist going forward? Is he going to be doing Hotline Bling and In My, My Feelings for the rest of his life? He doesn't want to be that. He wants to be hot and relevant and current. And all the songs he's released this year, they've kind of come and gone. I mean, they get a little bit of hype. It's a new Drake song, and then a couple weeks later, it's gone.
The judge, on the other hand, is on Spotify.
Hi, my name's Brianna. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, and I was not shocked that this case got dismissed because at the end of the day, like you guys said, it's rap beef. We know rap beef. It's a tale as old as time. If he truly wanted to end this, resolve it, he would get in the booth. Like, this isn't an episode of Degrassi. Like, tell people why you're the best rapper or just sit down.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, Mrs. Lamar, that was very, very harsh.
Coming up.
Dating apps are very popular. Guess what? Gen Z is not having it. Gen Z gets this knock all the time that they only want to communicate electronically.
Well, there's somebody that's actually forging the path.
Her name is Cassidy Davis, and she is the inventor, I guess you'd say, of chaotic singles parties.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too.
Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Where to find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right? This is the, it had been for many, many years. Dating apps have been the big thing. I mean, it's well after your time and a little bit after mine as well. But dating apps are very popular. Guess what? Gen Z is not having it.
They actually want to have communication with groups of
weird
people.
Because Gen Z gets this knock all the time that they only want to communicate electronically.
Well, there's somebody that's actually forging the path to make this happen.
Indeed.
And she's having some success.
Exactly. Her name is Cassidy Davis, and she is the inventor, I guess you'd say, of chaotic singles parties. It sounds interesting. I'm not sure exactly what that all entails, but she is joining us now to explain. Cassidy, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So I know you create these parties where single people get together the way they used to.
We used to call them mixers.
Why'd you do it? Why did you do it when the trend seemed to go the other way?
Well, honestly, I was just so single here in LA for so many years, and I was tired of, swiping. I was tired of going on like lame coffee dates with guys that I didn't really know and get along with. And I just was like, I wish I could date at a party with my friends and a drink in my hand. Like, why can't I just date like that? I'm so much more fun in that setting than on a coffee shop date. And so Valentine's Day of 2022, I got my single girlfriends together and I was like, guys, I have an idea. Let's invite all our dating app matches to my house. I'm going to throw this first date house party Valentine's Day thing. And we're going to see what happens. Maybe we'll find the love of our life. Maybe we'll get robbed. Either way, it's a great story.
It would be a great story.
It was a great story, yeah. One of those guys I invited is now my fiance. So, I mean, It worked out for me, yeah.
Wow.
She's not just a client.
Wow.
She's not just the president, she's a client.
Amazing.
You're still using the dating app, though, to get the people, to get the pool together, but the idea is instead of a one-on-one, like you said, lame coffee date, let's get a big group together. Now, does it happen that let's say you said your girlfriends, you all got together and said, let's bring all of our matches to this party. Is everyone cool if, say, your friend invited some guy, but he ends up matching with one of the other girlfriends?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what's chaotic about it is that you invite all these people, off the dating apps to meet you at the party, but you have no, claim to them. Hopefully you haven't been dating them for months. These are people you don't know. You know what I mean? So it's all chaotic. We're all mixing, we're mingling, and whoever you end up with is maybe who you're meant to be with.
So I have a take on Gen Z with this, that they are socially awkward. Not everybody, obviously, but there's a social awkwardness because they live on social media. They text.
Jackson is looking at you like, what?
They text instead of talk, and that when you put groups of them together, it's super awkward. That's my take. Am I wrong? And if I happen to be right, does this fix it?
I wouldn't say they're super awkward. I would just say that we're not used to dating IRL. That's just not something our generation and generations below us have been getting used to. When you go to bars these days, people don't approach you anymore. They don't buy drinks anymore. That whole art has kind of died in some ways. So these parties help bring that back to life.
See,
so
there is some truth to it.
Yeah, we have some icebreaker games. We have some stuff to help guide you through the party, but ideally you're just in a bar full of singles, just shooting your shot with anyone and everyone. And if you need a little more help, we're there to help. But for the most part, people are kind of chaotic and doing their thing.
Are you still friends with the woman who brought the guy who ended up being your fiance?
Well, so at that first party, I invited 65 guys off Tinder to my house because I was worried no one would show up. So I actually was the one who invited him. So
actually, you know what, Cassie, I'm curious. How did the guys, when you had that first party, and I'm sure it's more common now, but how did the guys react when you said, hey, I'm presuming you told all of them there were going to be multiple people there. There weren't 60 guys showing up thinking they were just going to have a one-on-one date with you. How did the guys feel about setting up this sort of party environment?
Well, I would say about half the guys were really weirded out by it and kept asking me if I was going to harvest their organs or something. And I was like, no. And half the guys were very down for it. And I always said my kind of guy would think this is hilarious and would be so down for it. And sure enough, the guys who came were so fun, were the lives of the party. And then my now fiance walked in the door with a huge bottle of tequila. And I was like, yeah, that's my guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So people can look for, you started this in LA, but now you're doing this all across the country, right?
Yes, we're in 12 cities nationwide, and we're gearing up for a huge Halloween bash. We have so many Halloween parties we're planning this month. So yeah, we're in 12 cities around the country. Come party with us and find love.
Chaotic Singles. So if people want to, how do they find you?
Yeah, so you can go to chaoticsingles.party.com or Chaotic Singles Party on Instagram or TikTok.
Cool.
All right.
That sounds really fun.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Cassidy. You're welcome to join anytime.
I'd love to see the reaction if we walked in.
That's oh, God, these old-ass men are coming. We're out.
Coming up.
Kathy Bates' Matlock reboot is in the middle of a huge shakeup because one of her co-stars has been booted off the show after he was accused of sexually assaulting one of his co-stars. They have already removed him. They say that this happened allegedly on the Paramount lot where they shoot the show.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Kathy Bates' Matlock reboot is in the middle of a huge shakeup because one of her co-stars has been booted off the show after he was accused of sexually assaulting one of his co-stars, not Kathy Bates, another actress named Leah Lewis. And they have already removed him. They say that this happened allegedly on the Paramount lot where they shoot the show. David Del Rio has been booted off the lot. They're already starting to write him out of the show.
This is not a police thing, at least not yet.
No,
this is more the
yet.
studio.
So Leah Lewis, who is the alleged victim here, she actually posted something after he was fired, after that came out. She basically wanted to let her fans know that she's doing okay. Her mom had arrived. She said, "Mom is here. We're moving forward in love and strength. I'm in good hands. Thank you to everybody for any kind of support and care. Truly, we're moving forward in strength."
Here's what I find fascinating about this. The swiftness of the CBS response to this, to write him off the show, to escort him off the studio lot. This happened in late September, apparently. We're just newly into October. Usually a studio would undertake an investigation, perhaps suspend without pay for a while or suspend with pay. This is it seems to be a full-throated, you're gone now. And I wonder what that means in terms of what they discovered.
Well, but there are two things that could be. One could be, maybe there's some video that they've got.
Because if it happened on the lot.
Right.
And or an eyewitness by a powerful person.
And the other thing could be that these networks and big companies are so skittish that they just act. And we don't know which it is.
Yeah, that's right. They could act precipitously. We don't know. But we've learned that the CBS gave that statement.
But his wife,
David Del Rio hasn't said anything. His wife posted something interesting. She took that photo that Leah Lewis posted with her mom and basically did a close-up on Leah's face and said, "This is the most disturbing human being I have ever met." She posted that. She has since deleted it, but
that seems to be questioning the veracity of her allegations.
That seems to be.
Yeah.
It's definitely questioning
that's what it is.
But also, remember, this is David's wife, and she's going to support him. So,
well, that diminishes it a little bit. I mean, she's got a point of view. We don't know what her point of view is.
The only thing I would say is that her point of view, Leah's point of view, the studio sees it her way because they swiftly.
And the studio doesn't have an axe to grind. This is a star of the show. These are the two leads after Kathy Bates. So to make this move is a big deal.
Is a big deal for the show.
And it may well be that. Well, I mean, the way HR works is they're worried about two things.
Correct.
One is the alleged victim and just generally how it affects the staff. But the other is getting a lawsuit on the other side.
Yeah.
So they clearly weighed that and said, we're coming down clearly in favor of
Leah.
The allegation. And because of the swiftness, they may well have something concrete to support.
And as you said, though, no police investigation that we're aware of. This is just the studio so far escorted him off.
My name is Brianna, and I'm from Ventura County. I was relieved to hear that Paramount took swift action and immediately escorted Del Rio offset on the same day of the alleged assault. These measures are vitally important for the safety of every actor involved in a production like this, and Leah Lewis, as well as everybody on the set of Matlock, deserves a safe workspace.
Yeah, he's just written off the show at this point.
There are going to be, the next season is about to start. There are going to be, I think they said 3 episodes where he appears, and after that, you won't see him anymore. Well, from the people who brought you Tylenol Causes Autism, now comes a connection between circumcision and autism.
The unkindest cut of all.
That is definitely a headline that one could use for this story. The HHS Secretary, RFK Jr., explained this connection. It does have to do with Tylenol still. There are a lot of people in the science world who are saying this is not a link that you should be making, but here is the Secretary's explanation.
There's 2 studies that show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. And it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol. So, none of this is dispositive, but all of it is stuff that we should be paying attention to.
So here's the thing. Highly likely it's because they're giving the kids Tylenol. It's not saying we have a study showing that the kids who got autism took Tylenol. Highly likely that they took Tylenol. That feels like supposition and not fact to me. The way he said it.
Right.
And I'm not like being
I know,
loyal or anti.
No, but I also heard him say that most early circumcisions. Well, most circumcisions are done early, right? I mean, it's
they better
rare.
Be.
I mean, it does happen, but it's
rare. It does happen,
but it's much rarer.
When I got my, just kidding.
I know somebody that was an adult.
My biggest beef with it would be all the people trying to make fun of Trump and RFK saying, "Oh, they're saying now that circumcisions cause autism." Like either you're being dishonest or a liar, or you have absolutely no comprehensive.
So let me ask you something.
Right, that is an unfair thing to say that it causes.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
During COVID,
yeah.
One of the criticisms, and personally I think a valid one, was the Biden administration scared the crap out of people unnecessarily.
Agree.
To some extent.
I agree.
Well, isn't this the same thing? Well, no, isn't this the same thing?
I don't disagree with you.
Where they're just, we don't know how many, but it seems like people must have taken Tylenol.
Why are we talking about things
it started under Trump's administration?
No,
so,
I understand that, but
right.
but during Biden's administration, there was this whole thing that you can't say anything about China, and you shouldn't take kids.
Right, we
and
should
put
not
them in
talk
school
about
and
these
everything.
things until we
People
know
got
for a fact.
scared.
Right, we shouldn't talk about these things until we know them for a fact. Right, I agree with you. Why scare people?
And it feels like he's doing it here.
Right. No, I don't disagree.
But hold on. But this whole thing, we shouldn't talk about things till we know for a fact.
Yeah.
Well, what did we have Dr. Oz on talking about Tylenol, right? And he said,
right.
Yeah, there's more we need to learn, but we're telling you what we know at this point.
Right.
So
Right.
what are we saying? Do we want the information as they have it, or do we want it when it's fully baked?
Let me stop you. No, we can do it as we know it, but say we're not positive or whatever. Oz said, take Tylenol
as
in the
your
first
doctor, as your doctor
He said in the first trimester, no problem. But he said as it progresses, only do it with a high fever. That's what we know right now.
And
so
most importantly, what he said is your doctor should prescribe the proper amount.
That's right. But then here, this is just wild. Well, they may have taken Tylenol. That's not. There's nothing scientific about that.
I agree.
Nothing.
I agree.
Coming up.
LeBron James is playing a little dangerous game. We told you about the decision, the second decision.
He was actually not retiring. He was promoting Hennessy.
This may backfire for Hennessy. So we're going to follow the money with our buddy Damon John from Shark Tank.
Be right back.
LeBron James is playing a little dangerous game. We told you about the decision, the second decision, or decision part 2, what did he call it? And that there's a lawsuit now that has been filed over this.
We should just say, in case you don't know, he was actually not retiring, he was promoting Hennessy.
Right. It certainly leaned into it and made a lot of people think that he might be announcing his retirement. The dangerous game is this may backfire for Hennessy. Does it, if people are pissed off about it, well, maybe
Hennessy's in on it.
Yeah, of course Hennessy was in on it.
No. And they're pissed, not just at LeBron, but at Hennessy.
Exactly. Right. I mean, the reality is that it's probably Hennessy or their advertising agency that said, let's go get LeBron and this is what we want to do.
Right.
LeBron had to approve it, but there could be losers here. This has happened before with other celebrities who have made people think they were going to do one thing and then it turned out to be something totally different. So we're going to follow the money with our buddy Damon John from Shark Tank, and we follow the money every week. Damon, welcome back.
Thank you.
What do you say about the decision?
This is brilliant. Brilliant. And we've been going through these of when you have something like the I don't know what that Gene company or this company or maybe
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. But this
American
one is
Idol.
what we call an undeniable package because of a couple of things here. Number one, he is arguably one of the top 3 best players in history, and Hennessy is one of the best brands in the world. And nobody, when you really think about liquors and stuff like that, you're going to go and ask for your call. You're going to go for your Jack and Coke, your Tito's and something, and your Hennessy, and no way in the world. It's a drug. At the end of the day, you're not going to go, I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm not watching one of the greatest of all times. This is a hit upon a hit upon a hit. He has enough brand equity to get away with this. If he starts doing it a million times, there's an issue. But, you got your Shaqs.
I mean, Damon, Damon, there are other cognacs you could choose.
You're not gonna listen. There's a reason why you can't break somebody's habit of a cognac and or a liquor really easy. It's very hard. You see 1,000 companies try to launch every year. They can't break that buying habit as well as you got a celebrity and or person that you're gonna be a LeBron fan for the rest of your life. That's like telling somebody, don't be a Jordan fan, be a this guy fan all of a sudden. It ain't gonna happen.
So maybe that one, maybe it's foolproof, right? But there have been others that failed. Snoop did this where he leaned into, everyone knows that he smokes weed, and he did this whole ad saying, I'm giving up smoke. I'm done with smoking. And then it turned out to be a smokeless fire pit or something for your backyard.
There's a couple of people that have unlimited passes. Snoop, Shaq, LeBron. I mean, if one of those guys mess up, I can finally get a national campaign as another black guy. That's great, but that's not going to happen. But I got to tell you, in this one, though, the company was new. There was there's no love for the company, and that CEO lost they lost their job. So this is not something that everybody goes, let's have some of these playful moments. This is very, very hard to have. But yes, you are right. You cannot play this game with consumers too much, and you're very rarely going to get the undeniable package like LeBron and Hennessy together.
Here's the problem. That going forward, now that we've seen enough of these shenanigans, that if a company does an ad like this and they're not clear and they try to leave you hanging, people aren't going to believe it anymore.
They're going to get hurt. And especially now you have the people out there, a lot of these companies who are doing it just playing with AI as well and not even having a lot of these factual things. But we're going to see a lot of this unfolding today because you can't roll out these great campaigns anymore and just rely on eyeballs. You have to make it, something where people are talking about. People like friction more than they like facts. And we're going to start, having a lot of issues here.
Sadly, that is true. More friction than facts. You got to have the gravitas. If you got the gravitas, you can get away with it.
By the way, I want to just give a good shout out to this. You always let me highlight this guy, Daniel Mozart. I just met him. An actual flag from 9/11, and in the arms and the sleeves of the shirts from firefighters who responded to 9/11. Lady Justice, just thank you for always letting me highlight that. And I see all my buddies out at Evening with the Shark in New York on Tuesday, where all of us sharks get together. Charles and Harvard, wish you were there. We'll do one in LA.
Send us a jet.
An evening with the Sharks.
Send us a jet, man.
Send us a jet. On the way.
All right. We'll see you next time, Damon.
Bye, Damon.
All right, guys.
Coming up.
So the investigation into Celeste Rivas's death continues. Her body was found in the Tesla belonging to singer David. And what we story we broke yesterday is interesting.
Be right back.
So the investigation into Celeste Rivas's death continues. We don't know the cause of death yet, which is a big thing.
By the way, we don't even know if it's a homicide.
Right, exactly. Don't know that it's a homicide. But what we do know is that her body was found in the Tesla belonging to singer David. And what we story we broke yesterday is interesting. It doesn't move the investigation any further, but it's just something interesting that happened in David's world. He is the owner of 2 homes, and both of those homes were transferred to a trust in his mother's name. The date is what's interesting.
The date is critical.
The date of the transfer, the first transfer was on September 18th, and the second was on September 22nd.
And what's interesting about the 18th date is that was the same day we broke the story that cops had gone out to that house for a swatting, and his mom answered the door.
Right. So That part you'd have to assume is just coincidence, right?
But there was a search. The search warrant.
But the search on the home where the rental home where David was living in LA, that happened on September 17th.
So literally a couple of days after the police execute a search warrant, which, by the way, requires proof of probable cause that a crime was committed inside that house.
Right.
Then he transferred title to this trust that is run by his
I will
mother.
say this though, and I don't know, not having set up a trust and transferred a home, that's not something you can do in 24 hours, right? It seems like something.
Well, you could. I mean, look, I don't know what the timing is, and you may be,
whether he was
and by the
doing
way,
that.
You may be right. It's just odd. He was on tour when this was happening.
Right.
Now, it doesn't show that the investigation is moving the needle based on that.
No.
It is interesting.
It is just interesting.
I'm Empress from Atlanta, Georgia, and I do find it very interesting that he made this move. It seems that he's preparing for the worst.
One of the reasons people do that is if they fear a civil lawsuit, and they want to somehow protect the assets. So again, we don't know if that's the case, but I've seen it before.
Yes.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
Harmony Lebeter from Fort Smith, Arkansas. The whole RFK thing is absolutely insane for someone like me that's on the autism spectrum. Like, he just has to get things in order, and the way he's going, he just needs to resign. And then while he's at it, it's kind of time to release the Epstein files.
One more.
Hi, this is a Nemesis calling in from Toronto, and I'm here to talk about the Osefos getting charged with fraud. Housewives love them some fraud, but I never thought it would be this couple. When I first heard this news, I had to sit in silence for a few minutes because I truly didn't expect it. All I know is Giselle's about to have a field day. But my real question here is, why are they smiling in those mugshots like they're genuinely going to do it again?
They're probably taking publicity pictures for the show, and it's just instinctual. It's like, here I am.
Hey, we're at another event.
Coming up.
Big time first coming to Las Vegas and the Sphere. They've never had a female headliner.
But they will in May.
No doubt that is about to change because Gwen Stefani and No Doubt are reuniting for a residency at the Sphere.
Be right back.
Big time first coming to Las Vegas and the Sphere. The venue that everyone has been talking about, really is amazing.
Fabulous.
They've never had a female headliner.
But they will in May.
No doubt that is about to change because Gwen Stefani and No Doubt are reuniting for a residency at the Sphere starting in May.
They're calling it a 6-show run, but they always add shows, so it's going to be mid-May to the end of June. And this, they have rarely performed over the last 7 years. They've performed twice.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
That is going to draw.
It is so great.
There's basically just going to be, especially from Southern California, there's going to be people just going, there'll be people going multiple weekends, I'm sure.
And speaking of great shows in Southern California, this weekend, tonight, Saturday night, we have the TMZ After Dark tour that goes all over Hollywood where you get free shots. Then Sunday, we have our TMZ brunch bus.
It is considerably more affordable than the Sphere.
Congratulations, No Doubt. And have a good weekend.